Maréchal Ferré joins us from France. Good evening to you. Good afternoon here.
Yes, good afternoon. So
it's good to see you. It's been quite a while. I've done some of my best jumps of my life with you, my friend, at different events. You've been jumping today?
yes, today I had some friends coming from Auvergne, that's the middle of France, and they wanted to finish the here with me. So I managed to bring them here in Gap. I'm living in Gap, and then today was this is the 11th of November, which is we celebrate, the finish of the First World War. Yes. So it's a bank holiday for everybody. Yes.
What were the jumps today? How many people?
Oh, just six way.
Yes.
And some tunnel in the afternoon.
Which tunnel do you go to there?
Say again?
Which tunnel do you visit from Gap?
That's a tunnel called On Air.
Yes.
And that's a tunnel built or run by the former captain of the French Airway national team. His name is Patrick Bergouillon. I don't know if you remember this guy. Yes. He was in the Airway national team in 1987 till 1995, actually.
Yes. And your family, Maréchal, let's talk a little bit about your heritage and your brother and your parents. You come from a skydiving pedigree.
Yes, definitely. Almost all my family is jumping. So my two parents met in skydiving I think in the 60s. So they started jumping together, and so they got married, and they got me, and then my sister, and then Marin, my brother. So we five could fly together, and we were able to make 5 ways. And I met my wife in skydiving, but she stopped skydiving. Yes. My sister married Damien Sorlin.
Yes.
Who was part of the French Airway national team, 2 times world champion. My brother, I was world champion with him. He married also a skydiver. And my sister's daughter actually married, she's also jumping. Yes. Her name is Clémentine, yeah. And she's a 2-time world champion. And she married Dennis Pratt from Hayabusa. So we have now a full, almost more than 8-way team together.
That's incredible. And high standard as well, not just any old 8-way. So lots of world champions.
Yeah. Yes, for sure.
Well, tell me about your memory as a little boy with your family on the drop zone. What do you remember?
Actually, I was spending all my time on the drop zone. My parent was a doctor. My mother was a school teacher, but they were spending all their weekends on the drop zone. So every time I smell, the perfume of a rig, like the cordura or the smell of a rigging loft. Yes. I am back in my time when I was a kid. Yes. And I was spending a lot of time on the drop zone, making like almost jumping fake jumps over from trees. I remember there was a bunker close to my area, and we were having a pad on the ground, and we were jumping against or in front of the wind to recreate the sensations of free fall.
Wow.
And my first sensation of free falling was pretty much jumping from this bunker, which was like 3 or 4 meters high.
Wow. Yeah, that's quite a height.
Yes, and my first injury actually in skydiving was when I was hanging in the harness with ropes around my elevators. Yes. And the ropes broke, and I fell from the tree, and I broke my left arm.
So that was your first skydiving injury before even going near a plane, eh?
Yes, and I was 11 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where was this? Where did you grow up? Which part of France?
In West France, called Brittany. That's west of France, in a drop zone called Vannes. Very nice drop zone.
Yes.
Where where many world champions grew up, actually, like Erwan Pouliquen, Mathieu Bernier, his brother. I mean, we are many people from the French national teams grew up in this drop zone. So
My first memory of French champions, I started jumping in 1990, and one of my earlier videos I had, I think it might have been the championships in Ampere Brava, and the tag team, the French tag team was Jérôme Bunker, and that team. Yeah. That's my earliest memory.
Okay.
Of
yes, I grew up. Actually, those people you mentioned are the people who made me what I am, what I have become. You know, they really, I mean, we were all wanted to do what they were doing, you know. And this is the first time I heard about Excalibur, sword, four-way, stuff like that, you know. And in the morning, before going to school, at the breakfast, I was watching their videos, actually.
Yes. Incredible what they were doing. In, you know, no booties, very different body position.
Leg locks.
Leg locks. Yes.
Locks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your early jumps, when did you first jump?
I started in the 4th of July, 1986, actually.
Yes.
And I made my first jump with Erwan Pouliquen. So he became, he took my slot in 2001 for the when I stopped jumping with the French four-way team. He stepped in in my team. I mean, in the four-way team, and then we never competed together, except in 2009 and 2010, where we were in the same team together. So many years after our first jump together, we were at the door of the world meet together, and we won together. So that was a good timing.
Tell me about your first world championships. Tell me a bit about that.
Actually, this championships were, I mean, as a French four-way team, yes. It was in Turkey in 1997. So we finished second.
Yes, I was going to say that was the wasn't the World Air Games, no?
Yes, right. That was World Air Games in Turkey.
Yes.
Yeah, in this amazing place called Efes.
Yes.
And we were jumping over an antiqual site. I mean, 2,000 years ago, people were, you know, living there. Yes. And so it was great to jump over this place. And my team were training hard, but I think we were a little bit too young. So we were defeated by airspeed. But we were defeated only by 3 points, which were not too much, but they were definitely ahead of us. So that was a good competition. And 2 years after, we were back against each other with Team Airspeed, the original lineup. That was a fierce battle, yes. And we won.
Yes,
we won.
Yes. So, were you? That was before you started 8-way as well. You were just doing 4-way then, is that right?
Yes. I started 4-way first. Yeah. That was my main thing. I didn't want to do 8-way. For me, it was something else. And then when I quit the 4-way in 1990, I mean, after the World in 99, for me, I had achieved my goal, which was to become a world champion 4-way. And I said, well, why not going for 8-way just for fun? Yeah. So I went to the World Meet with a pickup team in 2001 at the World Air Games in Grenada. Yeah. And then I told myself, hey, that's a good thing. I mean, that's something I would like to do more. And so this is how I got involved in the Airway, actually.
Yes, yes, and you've always kept almost. I mean, when I've spoke to you before, it's like a militaristic feeling with your skydiving. The generals and the soldiers, like when you're load organizing, it's taking into battle. You want to do absolutely the best every single time.
Yeah, definitely. I actually nobody pushed me this way, actually. And when I grew up, when I was a kid, I was very shy, and I didn't like competition. Yes. I was doing some competition swimming. Yes. My brother, my mother wanted me to do some swimming, and I hate that. For me, that was the worst sensations, being under pressure. Yes. I liked doing efforts, but I didn't like competition. And then time after time, I become much more a soldier. I become a warrior, And since I like very much the history of the world, and especially the medieval times, and then the Napoleonic times, and then I started getting more fun into the pressure times,
Yes.
And so that's how I become the Maréchal.
You have studied military strategy. You have studied in depth, haven't you? The conflicts, and you know a lot about putting the forces all together. We've talked about that in the past.
Yes, probably I was wrong. Some people say I was born in the wrong century. Yeah. I should have been born probably in the medieval times. Yeah. Maybe. So probably when I read the books about the battles, about the generals' lives, the heroes from the past, probably it does affect my emotions. Yes. And I want to recreate the same things, like the same power from them.
Yes.
And so that's what I put into my personality now. Yeah, probably.
Was that with you during your times in World Championships, taking a world, being the best in the world? Were you in that mindset then, or did that come afterwards, do you think?
I think it became during this time. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I become, actually my confidence was getting higher and higher. And then I could gather all my inner personality in the good way. Actually, I was helped by a mental coach who came to it's a different facts. My team was a good team. We had a good brotherhood. My coach was a great coach, and then he brought a guy who helped us to become much stronger mental way. I mean, with a mind. Yeah. And so I started getting more and more confident with my my own power, and this is how I became much stronger. And then I was taking, as I said, I mean, I was taking examples on the generals or on the heroes from the past.
Yes.
And then I started getting more and more. I was more liking the pressure,
yes.
the war. Yeah,
that's interesting. To be the best at that level, I mean, skydiving in the whole world of sports is, it's quite a niche thing we do, but in air sports, a lot of air sports have a similar standard of competition where, it's very small margins separating the number one from the number two. It takes that mental preparation, doesn't it? It takes that mental power to just push that little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. You need to dig into your personality. You need to remember why you wake up in the morning, why you do this, and at some point you need to believe in some I grew up in Brittany, and Brittany we like the catch-up culture, and there is a one story called I mean it's about the knights. Probably you know that the knights of the Round Table.
Yes.
And they are all looking for the Grail, the Holy Grail. You know, and actually this is not just a cup. The Holy Grail is what you want to achieve as a sportsman or as a man. And so I was digging in those beliefs. For me, getting the best with my team, winning the World Meet was it was a journey to get this Holy Grail, and I would say that that's a mystic journey. You know, and you put all your effort. Nothing else does exist except this. You know.
Yes.
But you need to remember why you are here. You need to. It's among. Beyond the daily things like food or sexual pleasure, money. You don't take care about this. You want to get this fucking gold medal, and there is nothing above else. Yeah. You know, it's hard to explain with simple words. Actually,
I totally get it. You're doing a great job because it's in English as well. I mean, I can imagine. I mean, I'm enthralled. I can imagine how it comes across in French. It must be even more incredible. But with a team sport as well, this drive and this passion and this total belief in that Holy Grail, it's got to be not only you as well. It's got to be the four other people, including the camera guy.
Exactly, and it's the difficult job is to drive yourself, but also to match with the energy level of the others.
Yeah.
And so my team was a great team because it's like Abu Dhabi. We were brothers. I mean, with for sure, I have my Marin, my brother, yes. my blood brother, but also Thierry and Davide. We were more than brothers. We were, you know, like the four musketeers. You know.
Yes. Yes.
And so you need to create a very strong bonds in between us. We call in French that esprit de corps. You know this word?
Yes.
Esprit de corps. It's something. It's not only a team. It's above a team.
Yes.
When you have the esprit de corps, you could die for your teammates. You know, yes. You could do everything to make sure that your team win. That's and I think Airspeed had the same actually. And you would ask those questions to Dan BC, he would tell you the same.
Yes, and all these things, they have to come together at the same time. That teamwork, that level of skill, that level of desire, and you know the fitness and the placing and the timing, they all have to coincide on top of each other to be that champion, right?
Yes, definitely. This is a big work, working together. So actually, what we were doing to make sure that the whole energy was high enough on the short time we had to be on competition or on the trainings, that we were spending like 200% altogether, the time altogether. But when we were finished with competition or with the training, we split.
Right.
We split. Like we didn't spend too much energy all together, because when we were coming back into action, like for trainings or for competition, we were very happy to see us again, you know. So yeah. When you are happy to meet your team again, actually we were not working together, we were not spending our time together except on the trainings, you know. But we knew that our hearts were beating the same pace.
Yes.
When we were joining together.
Yes. What's interesting about that as well is it was a different time in communications. We didn't have iPhones and the internet and WhatsApp. Yes. And all the, you know, that's you were given that time apart. That's difficult now, isn't it, to have that time apart from your teammates?
Yeah. Like you say, in this era, we had almost no internet, no iPhones. So sometimes I try to remember how we were doing, but I cannot remember how we were doing. Actually.
How do you communicate? Yeah.
So
how do you arrange where the next meeting is?
Yeah. So probably this is what was explaining why we were happy to see us again. So I remember when we were joining, I mean, the coach, actually, Jérôme David, was the coordinator of the for the schedule, for the plannings. So he was giving the call to us.
Yes.
I mean, one by one with a normal call, and say, okay, be at on time at 7 at the airport this date. And we had a planning written on the paper, and so everybody was on time. And so since we couldn't speak together for the 2 or 3 weeks in between the two trainings, we were very happy when we meet again at the airport, you know.
Yeah.
So probably not having any iPhones or not having any internet, having any Facebook, Messenger, WhatsApp was creating an empty space, right? So we were rested. We were our energy was high. So when we were getting to the airport, we were very happy to see us again.
Yes.
Like you don't see a friend for a long time, you know. You are happy to see somebody.
Incredible, isn't it? It really is incredible. And after that time of going for the World Championships, what were your thoughts then? What were you deciding? I mean, we know where you are now. You put together some amazing camps in the tunnel in the sky. But what was the bit in between? What was the bridging bit as you kind of moved away from World Championship competition?
Sorry, I didn't get very much.
Sorry, I'll try again. But after winning the World Championship with your team, with 4-way, and then with your 8-way stuff, what was the transition towards more load organizing?
Actually, my last experience. I mean, after '99, I created a skydiving school in Gap with another friend of mine from the 8-way team called Velos, and I started getting a pro skydiver, doing AFF and coaching, and no tunnel at this time, no tunnel. 2003 with the French 8-way team, this competition was a disaster. Actually, we finished 3rd place. We made a mini burst, so I was very disappointed. Actually, I didn't want to hear about competition, formation skydiving anymore. Right. And I was just a normal instructor doing some coaching here and there and doing mostly AFF actually. So I was putting all my efforts into my family and my school, my skydiving school. And I started doing some other sports like scuba diving, enjoying life, going to the beach. So normal man, normal man. And but I still have some pain in my heart, not having been able to win or at least to fight for the gold medal in 2003. But I was still competing, and that was a time when tunnel was coming. Yes. First Aerocart tunnel in Paris, and I was one of the first instructors in the tunnel in Paris. And I didn't know that, but I was training myself again and again without any thoughts ahead about going back into action, into the competition at the world class. But I was still, I like the best moves. I like to be a mediatic person as I fly. So I was pushing my limits all the time. And that is natural that in 2008, when the World Meet was finished in Maubeuge, and the French team was looking for new people to fill the missing slots, and everybody knew how I was flying, and I was flying pretty with strong skills, you know. So they came to me and say, hey, would you like to go again for a new world meet? And so I said, yes, okay, let's go. I am ready for it. Ready for it. So during the 8 or 6 years in between 2003 and 2009, I was just coaching, flying, no big way, just flying for fun, you know, some competition here and there, and just flying with AFF. But I didn't know at all that I would go back into world meet, actually.
Incredible.
I didn't know. Yeah.
That is absolutely incredible. And the jumps now and the formations you produce, they really are some of the best in the world that you can see. Some beautiful big open spaces in the middle, lots of out facing going on, some really very nice skydives. You don't see them everywhere like the ones you produce. You must get a big thrill out of those.
Yes. Actually, I was inspired a lot by Dan BC and the power play.
Yes.
Because after the World Meet 2010, I get in touch with Dan BC again, and he said, why not coming into power play just to visit, and then so we can jump together. And he invited me into his major event called power play, which is mostly attended by former competitors or high-skilled people from all around the world. And then when I saw what he was doing, I said, wow, that's what I want to do. You know, for me, big way, like just in facing formations, it's interesting, but it's, you know, 1 time, 2 times, but this is not what I'm looking for. What I like is to push people. What I like is to get people's challenge. Yes. And I like to challenge myself, you know. So that's how I turned the big ways style. I want to put the most amazing pictures that I can have. So it's very high risk formations, because sometimes it fails, and it fails a lot. But sometimes it happens, it works, and so I can be proud of the people who could make it. So actually, this is a strategic game. When you organize such a jump with out-facing people, with no base in the middle, you have a play game with a lot of players, and you need to know each player, and you know what they are able to do. You know their power, you know their skill, you know their experience, and you place them in the game as a strategic game. You know, and the idea is to make this jump successful on the first attempt. And if it does happen, you mean you won your game, because you place your chess mats, you know, your pieces on the battlefield at the right place.
Yes.
You know?
It's
and you
just
probably
like
yes, exactly. It's just really like that, you know?
Yes. Like a general with the table, with the soldiers, you're placing them
exactly
where you need them to
exactly be. Yeah. You need to know where you need to put the strongest people, when you need to put the weakest people, so everybody has a role to play, you know, in such event.
And are you going to be coming back with your big groups for the big tunnel in Abu Dhabi? Is that going to happen again?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was lucky to be the first French to go there. After the World Meet 2019 indoor, I remember I was with Milko. You know Milko, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, and we were chatting together, and then there was a girl coming there and say, "Oh yeah, well, how is it going?" And actually, she was a girl driving or running the tunnel in Qatar. Oh no, sorry, Bahrain.
Okay.
And this girl, I heard that this girl was on the project of the Abu Dhabi big
Zoe Edwards. Zoe, yeah.
Zoe, exactly, Zoe. And we came to her, say, hey, Zoe, when the Abu Dhabi is going to happen? And she said, give me a call on December, mid-December. give me a call, it should be okay. But at the moment, we don't want to tell anything.
Yeah.
So with Milko, we say, okay, we will see this. So it was in April 2019. So December 2019, I sent a message to Milko. Hey, Milko, do you have news from Abu Dhabi Tunnel? No, and you? No. Okay, let's call. And so we called, and they said, yes, you can come. All right. So we managed to put a team together. So it was 15 English people and 1 French. And the French was me. And we went for just a Rico camp.
Yes.
We just wanted to get there just to see how it goes, you know. And actually, we were a bit under pressure because we were not sure that it would fit with 16 people on it. And when we arrived, I remember I was the first to enter the tunnel, and then the other guys were coming in, and then I was squeezing a little bit the formation, you know, like it was a star, and I was afraid that I would be squeezed against the wall. And then when we were flying the star, I looked behind me, and there was still 1 meter behind my knees.
Yes.
So say, okay, let's go for it, you know.
Yes.
So yes. Now we are going in December. Actually, we are going mid-December with Dieter Kirsch, Sean Stokes, and Milko, and we are having a 8 days camp with six teams. 6 teams.
Amazing. You're gonna love it. Well, I'm afraid we're out of time. I could talk to you for hours and hours and hours, but that's about it for today. We'll have to get you back for a part 2. But hey, Maréchal, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much indeed for joining us on Airsport. Yes. Great conversation. You take care, and I hope to see you somewhere soon.
Okay, no problem. See you there.
À tout à l'heure.